of us have ever been lonely? I think we all have, right? At one time or another. I've noticed that when I talk to people, I just feel like we have a loneliness epidemic. When I talk to people, so many people, and I've been there too, feel disconnected. You know, we don't know our neighbors. It's hard to plug in to relationships, and even today, probably some of us feel lonely. And I really feel like the Samaritan woman, Shirley, the woman at the well, surely felt lonely. She was ostracized from her community. She was an outcast. She was a social outcast. She was, you know, how can you make friends in that kind of circumstance? And nobody wanted to associate with her. So, but when Jesus came and saw her, he didn't see her as a messed up girl from the wrong side of the tracks. He saw her as somebody who was created by him, a woman, a human being who was created by him on purpose for a purpose. And he saw her, he spoke to her, he reached out to her and invited her to friendship with him. And she was so excited that she ran back to her village and told everyone else, the people who had ostracized her. Can you imagine how intimidating that must have been? I mean, originally these people, you know, that had not wanted her around, how much she must have originally been intimidated by them, and she was so excited she could not keep it to herself. So she invited them to come and see him, and they did. And just like Bill said a minute ago, when she met Jesus, she went from being an outcast to being a leader. She went from being ostracized to being an integral part of her community. And her place as an outcast was turned upside down. So not only did he free her from guilt and shame, but he brought her and he restored that sense of community in her life. Can you imagine how different things must have been for her after she met Jesus? And it's the same for us. Jesus sees you and he knows you. And he wants to, you know, he invites us into relationship with him and into relationship with other people. And as Christ followers, we want to follow his example. And so that's, I think, one of the biggest things that, one of the biggest visions that we have for the well is to be a community of believers that really sees each other. We want to see each other. We want to know each other, and we want to share the love of Christ with each other and spend time doing life together with our neighbors, with our community groups, in small groups and outside of small groups. I've been part of small groups before that were just the only time you connected and the only time you saw each other was when you got together for a small group, and that's not real community. We want to build real, genuine community as friends and as God's family. We want to provide, you know, we want to provide a support system and what am I trying to say here? An environment where we can have each other's backs in the good times and in the bad times. And Jesus said in John 13, this is what I've been memorizing with my kids this week, as I have loved you, so you must love one another. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples. And I really believe that through the power of Christ that we can eradicate loneliness in our neighborhoods, in our apartment complexes, in the places where we live by showing the love of Christ, sharing the love of Christ with people around us, and becoming a support system and a community of Christ followers with each other. So, and we would love for you to be part of that.
Good job. I married way over my head, right? Really did. So we want the well to be about authentic relationships.